Okay, so okay, so thank you very much once again for coming to this session. This is meditation for relaxation for busy professionals, and this is session number 4. Whenever we talk of meditation, just to remind ourselves again that awareness is the key. And remember 7 steps. Step number 1 is the posture, the position of the eyes. Number 3, withdraw the mind from the external disturbances, observe the breath, and do some meditation technique. And remember, imagination is useful. And the most important point, which I always emphasize, is the regularity. Even 5 minutes twice a day is better than 2 hours every week. So just to recap in session 1, we said stress response is a sympathetic system derived response. Relaxation response is parasympathetic system derived. And we said that meditation triggers the relaxation response. And in the session first, we focused on breath and mantra method. And the 3 steps were observe the breath, gazing at the spiritual eye, which is the point between the eyebrows, and mentally repeating the mantra Hong with the incoming breath and Saw with the outgoing breath. In second session, we talked about body scan method, starting from feet and paying attention to different parts of the body. And by body scan, we become aware of sensations and internal experiences. And broadly, we can divide these sensations and internal experiences into 3 categories: the neutral, pleasant, and unpleasant. The theme here is let it come. Any sensation, any experience, let it come, let it be, and let it go. Non-judgmental. So the important thing here is that we want to be in the being mode rather than in the thinking mode. In session number 3, we practiced quick grounding technique, which is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, using all the senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. And then we did thymus tapping, and we did grounding and golden sun meditation, where the visualization of a big grounding cord and the golden sun, and then coming back to stillness. Today's session, the theme of today's session is mindfulness, mountain meditation. You might have heard of this: mindfulness, mountain meditation. Now, before we go, what is mindfulness? The best definition which I have come across is this by John Kabat-Zinn. And he says, keeping one's complete attention to the experience on a moment-to-moment basis in an open and non-judgmental way. John Kabat-Zinn is a professor of medicine emeritus. He brought mindfulness into the mainstream of medicine and society. He detached religious aspect from it, and he developed mindfulness-based stress reduction program way back in 1979, and till today it is the same 8-week session, same structure. These are the 5 core components of mindfulness: attention and now, open awareness, acceptance, no identification, and choice. Practicing mindfulness of this attention, open awareness, acceptance, no identification and choice, is prevented by automatic patterns. The now, the present moment, that plays a fundamental role in mindfulness. We are often not in the now. Where are we then? Either in the past, yesterday, this happened, or we are in the future. I have to do this thing. What if this happens? So we are in between past and future. And what has happened? That we have squeezed the present moment into a very narrow band. Most of the time, either in past or future, not focusing too much on the present moment. And mindfulness, basically, we need to enlarge this now awareness on this present moment. That doesn't mean we don't think about past and we don't think about future, but that means that they are there, past and future, but our main attention, main focus should be enlarging this present moment, which is now. The thoughts, thoughts are a powerful tool, but they are difficult to turn off when not needed anymore. The thoughts disconnect us from the present moments, and they can become problematic when believed to be true. When we talk of attention, there are two forces. One which demands our attention, which could be internal, like our emotions, our thoughts, or it could be attention external, like sound, TV commercial, all those external circumstances. The one force which regulates attention is the mindfulness. Now, you might have seen that sometimes there are unwanted thoughts. And what are the common ways to deal with these unwanted thoughts? We can either suppress it, or we can do distraction, or we can challenge these thoughts. So if we are suppressing these thoughts, it will rebound again. If we are using the method of distraction, it is again temporary. And when we are challenging, again, we are in the head thinking. So all these three ways of dealing unwanted thoughts, they cause struggle. So how can we mindfully deal with these unwanted thoughts? Just observe them. What thought is there? Just observe that. Take less serious and let them pass. Because thoughts, they are like a bubble. They will come and they will go away. The problem comes when we hold on to those thoughts. So observe these thoughts, take less serious, let them pass. When we are doing these three techniques, there is no struggle. So mindfully dealing with the thoughts, how we can do, focus attention to one point. And that point, we call it an anchor. And return to this anchor. So mindfully dealing with thoughts, when we are thinking, most of the time we are into the head, thinking and all the time in the mind. When we are observing, there is an anchor. So what anchor means, you fix your attention to some of the anchor, which is like breath, body, an object, a sound, or smell. So when we are observing, that means we are detached from the thoughts. And once we are detached from the thoughts, it is not going to cause much problems. Another automatic behavior, reactivity, is very common. Let us say that the situation is that you receive a snide remark. What will happen? Automatic reaction will be there of that remark. So what we mindful attention means, that there is a situation, mindful attention, there need to be pause. Just pause for a second. Look what is happening within you. That is a mindful attention. So there is a situation, receiving a snide remark. Mindful attention means you notice what is happening. I'm getting angry. I feel tension in my chest. I want to hurt the other person. And once you have that pause, you are noticing what is happening within you. Then your reaction could be either shouting, stay calm, or walking away. So So that means mindful attention means once you pause what is happening within you, then you have a choice. There is a conscious choice what reaction or what action you want to take. That is mindful attention. Another automatic cycle, you might have heard of cycle of feeling and thinking. You know, there is a situation, any situation that gave rise to emotions, and the emotions will give rise to thoughts. These thoughts will give rise to emotions. So we are into that cycle of emotions and thoughts. Let us say if there is any situation which gave rise to negative emotion, that will give rise to negative thoughts, further negative emotion. So we are into that cycle of feeling and thinking. How can we mindfully deal with these thoughts? Focus attention to one point. And that point, again, we call it an anchor. Return to this anchor. And how you can leave this cycle, connect to the present moment, which is anchor. Allow the feelings to be present. That means if you are having a negative feelings, let it be present. Just feel, notice. Allow feelings to be present. Notice when the thinking takes over again and return to the anchor. So the anchor is the main thing here. So what will happen? The cycles of feeling and thinking, there is a situation which gave rise to emotion, emotion gave rise to thoughts. And when you are having mindful awareness, that means you are aware that these are the thoughts, these are the emotions, and you are into that cycle of feeling and thinking. And once you are aware, then you can come out of that cycle. So mountain meditation. So this was about mindfulness. We need to know a little bit about mindfulness and what is mindfulness mountain meditation. Now this brings the qualities of mountain to your meditation practice and life. You know, life can send us all sorts, and at times it can feel too much. But deep down, our beautiful hearts can hold it all. The pain and darkness, the light and joy, as well as the mystery and wonder of the life unfolding. May your inner mountain be your guide. John Kabat-Zinn started this mountain meditation in mindfulness-based stress reduction program. The mountain meditation is designed to cultivate stillness and calm and to connect with our inner strength and stability in the face of challenges. So let us practice now for 15 minutes mindfulness mountain meditation. And you remember those 7 steps. And these 7 steps means just prepare yourself for this meditation. And when we say prepare, make sure that your spine is straight, feet flat on the ground, and position of the eyes. Just notice where is the position of the eyes. It may be either focused at one particular point or at a distance. So just prepare yourself for this meditation. Give me 1 second. Make sure you are sitting comfortable with the spine straight. Begin by sensing into the support you have from the chair or the cushion. Paying special attention to the actual sensation of the contact. Finding a position of stability and poise. Upper body balanced over your hips and shoulders in a comfortable but alert posture. Hands on your lap or your knees. Arms hanging by their own weight like a heavy curtain. Stable and relaxed. Actually sensing into your body, feeling your feet, legs, hips, lower and upper body, arms, shoulders, neck, head. And when you are ready, allowing your eyes to close, bringing awareness to the breath, the actual physical sensation, feeling each breath as it comes in and goes out, letting the breath be just as it is, without trying to change or regulate it in any way, allowing it to flow easily and naturally with its own rhythm and pace, knowing you are breathing perfectly well right now. Nothing for you to do, allowing the body to be still and sitting with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete, whole. In this very moment, with your posture reflecting this sense of wholeness. As you sit here, letting an image form in your mind's eye of the most magnificent or beautiful mountain you know or have seen or can imagine, letting it gradually come into greater focus. And even if it doesn't come as a visual image, allowing the sense of this mountain and feeling its overall shape, its lofty peak or peaks high in the sky, the large base rooted in the bedrock of the earth's crust, its steep or gently sloping sides, noticing how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful, whether from afar or up close. Perhaps your mountain has snow blanketing its top and trees reaching down to the base, or rugged granite sides. There may be streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes. There may be one peak or a series of peaks, or with meadows and high lakes. Observing it, noting its qualities, and when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring this mountain into your own body, sitting here, so that your body and the mountain in your mind's eye become one. So that as you sit here, you share in the massiveness and the stillness and majesty of the mountain. You become the mountain. Grounded in the sitting posture, your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of the body and affording a panoramic view. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain, your buttocks and legs are the solid base, rooted to your cushion or your chair, experiencing in your body a sense of uplift from deep within your pelvis and spine. With each breath, as you continue sitting, becoming a little more a breathing mountain, alive and vital, yet unwavering in your inner stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, grounded, unmoving presence. As you sit here, becoming aware of the fact, as the sun travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors are changing, virtually moment by moment, in the mountain stillness, and the surface beams with life and activity, streams, melting snow, waterfalls, plants, and wildlife. As the mountain sits, seeing and feeling how night follows day and how day follows night. The bright warming sun followed by cool night sky studded with stars and gradual dawning of a new day. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flows into one another and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all changes. In summer, there is no snow on the mountain except perhaps for the very peaks or in creeks, shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog, or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it is not a good day to see the mountain, that it's too cloudy or rainy or foggy or dark. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like it or not. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed by one bit, by whether people see it or not, seen or unseen, in the sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night. It just sits, being itself, at times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain, and winds of unthinkable magnitude. Through it all, the mountain sits. Spring comes, trees leaf out, flowers bloom in the high meadows and slopes. Birds sing in the trees. Once again, streams overflow with the waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the world of appearances, remaining its essential self. Through the seasons, the changing weather, the activity ebbing and flowing on its surface. In the same way, as we sit in meditation, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives, over seconds, over hours, over years. In our lives and in our meditation practice, we experience constantly the changing nature of the mind and body and of the outer world. We have our own periods of light and darkness, activity and inactivity, our moments of color and our moments of darkness. It's true that we experience storms of varying intensity and violence to the outer world and in our own minds and bodies, buffeted by the high winds, by cold and rain. We endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as the moments of joy and uplift. Even in our appearances changes constantly, experiencing a weather of its own. By becoming the mountain in our meditation practice, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energies to support our energy, to encounter each moment with mindfulness and equanimity and clarity. It may help us to see our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises. Even the things that happen to us are very much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it all personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. Mountains have this to teach us, and much more if we can let it in. So if you find you resonate in some way with the strength and stability of the mountain in your sitting, it may be helpful to use it from time to time in your meditation practice to remind you of what it means to sit mindfully with resolve and with the wakefulness in true stillness. So in the time that remains, continue to sustain the mountain meditation on your own, in silence, moment by moment, until you hear the sound of the bell, which will indicate the meditation has ended. Welcome back. You can move your hands, fingers, and come back to the present moment, mindfully aware of the present moment. And you may open your eyes when you feel comfortable to do so. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Satish. I feel so relaxed right now. Has anybody
If there's any question?
Yeah, any questions or comments, if you want to put them in the chat box or just ask Satish now, please feel free.